On a shopping street in Dagenham, there seems no cause for alarm. But round the back, there's a serious hygiene problem. It has to be tackled.
We're a disco hire shop. We hire disco equipment. We've had quite a bad problem with rats in the property over the past, I think, probably 3-4 months now. But they've been here about 6 months. You see them running down the road.
What's them rats?
But every cloud has a silver lining.
But he loves the rats. He loves it better than pedigree chum. Caught one. I come down and he's going, pulling it. I've had to pull him up like that. The rat's in his mouth. The rats like, shook it and got it out. But he loves the rats.
We've done about 1 kilo of rat poison in the past 2 weeks. Probably less than that, probably about 10 days. We've just rebaited the place today. We've done as much as we can, but there's only so much you can do.
It's time to call in the rat catcher-in-chief, Pest Controller Pete.
Supposed to be a plague of rats running around here. They've had a lot of clear outs, so it's a bit hard to see if we're going to get the rats here. So we've just come down here to do a survey on it.
He doesn't take long to locate the problem. But Pete's got to be careful.
You don't really want to put your hands down there, because if it's a blocked hole at one end, there could be a rat sitting there. I've had many rats come out and run up, like, not run up your arm, but they run out and scutter around you to get away. But it ain't a nice feeling if you want to get bit. So I tend to use a little stick and just probe it in slowly. And you can feel where the holes are, where it's going. Look, it's going right through, nice and gentle.
Pete's not rushing this. He needs to get the lie of the land.
There's a big dead one there.
Is there?
Yeah, there's loads of big rats around there.
Okay,
And up the other end, and like that.
all right, mate. Looking at it from here, with my experience, basically, it looks like a female, believe it or not, which is quite good, because obviously everyone knows that they produce the litter.
It's easy if you know where to look.
Yeah, you see the bite marks, teeth marks going along here, all along the edge here. It proves that the rats have been biting from outside to go in, not inside to get out.
The seasoned rat catcher follows the trail inside.
They're just everywhere, just by the droppings alone here, look. And they're literally, they are fresh. They've been here while we're outside talking.
Of course, rats, and particularly an army of rats, need food supplies. And finding that isn't difficult.
As you can see, it's a lot of rat haven here for them as food. Free of charge. Yeah, come and ring it. Why are the rats getting in here? The main thing what we can actually see, it hasn't got a lid on. So for a start, this bin's got to go back to the council and get a lid put on like the next one. If you have a look on this one, you can see where the bags have been actually chewed and ripped open where the rats have gone in. If you have a look here, you can see like where the rats been. Look, they've got food in there, it's warm in there, it's dry in there. It's perfect. It's the only word I can use. Perfect.
Pete's seen all he needs, but he can't get to work straight away. He needs authorisation.
There is hard evidence of a big festation here. All I can do now is sit and wait for the environmental health to actually give the green light, and we're in.
In Dagenham, Pete's had the green light to give the rats hell, and he's come prepared. Of course, rats have rat-like cunning, but then Pete is pretty cunning too.
The actual location is very important to put a control box in feeding stations, because obviously rats ain't going to run out in the open, they're going to run along the side, so I've got to look for telltale signs. So I think our best plan is bolt it straight onto that garage bit. We've got evidence of rats running through there, we've got grease stain marks through there, so it's quite obvious. It's not rocket science, but at the end of the day, it's knowing where to place the box. That's the key of it all. You know, you don't want it down there, you don't want it there, you want it where it's going to come out on a run.
The next decision is vital. You can't just use any kind of bait.
On this job, I've written the wax bait is going to go down better than the seed bait. It's got a very sweet, pungent smell, and it attracts the rats quite well. They've got a very, very good sense of smell. This should be the kiddie.
This method may look quite simple, but it's how Pete uses this method which will be critical.
I've got left about a 3-inch gap from there roughly, because when rats come through, if you put something close up tight, they tend to want to run past it. They're not used to seeing a box here, so they're going to stop and think, oh, what's that, and have a look. It'll take them 2 or 3 days. It might, because there's abundance of rats here, they might just go in it within half hour of us going. That's all done, all ready, all set, bolted in, and we'll wait and see. It's safe, no birds, no animals can get in there, only rats and mice.
But that's not the end of the story. There's more to come. In Dagenham, Pest Controller Pete resumes his struggle with rat-like cunning. Outside, he's laid some strategically placed bait boxes. But when Pete goes inside, he reveals some lethal new weapons.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use traps, ordinary traps. So what I'll do, because rats are very clever, we've got to put a bait on here, but make sure the bait's on there solid, because they tend to want to whip it off with their little tail, knock the chocolate off, which I'm going to use, and then eat the chocolate and the trap's still set. So what I do, I put a little bit of super glue on the trap, put the chocolate on the super glue. They can't flick it off with their tail. It's on a spring, obviously, this trap, so they've got to try and tug it. So the moment they tug it, the plate goes down, bang, we've got ourselves a nice rat.
These rodents are proving elusive, but Pete is a man with a very sound plan.
We set them all on the edges. And I also, in here, I'll put double ones together, because some rats like to jump. They come up to it, look at it and jump over. So if it jumps over, it's going to hit the second one. If it goes the other way, it's going to hit the other one. So I've got him whatever way he wants to go.
It looks like Pete is going to win this one, but it's never over until it's over.
The rats are always going to be here, end of. If we knew the answer, there wouldn't be a rat in this country, but there's going to be loads of rats and we're not going to wipe them out, end of. They're too clever. All we can do is control them, and that's it.
Pete leaves the scene in Dagenham confident of victory. But hold on,